CSAW Microgrants for U.S. Circus Artists of Color 2024 Audio Application. Please review the following before applying. Image description. Above this text, there is a large rectangular CSAW logo. This is a black rectangle with large bubble letters. The letter C in light green, the letter S in light turquoise, the letter A in light orange, the letter W in light magenta. A subtle diagonal white line cuts through the rectangle and is more obvious on the A and W. For those who wish to hear this application instead of read it, you may access an audio recording of all of the text included in the microgrant application at the YouTube link provided here. If you need this application in a different language, please email info@csawcircus.org and we will provide you with one. Deadline. This application opens on the 1st of every month and closes on the 15th of every month at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All microgrant applicants will be notified of their status on or before the 1st of the following month. Application accessibility. CSAW is committed to making this application as accessible as possible. For this reason, if you would rather record yourself answering the application questions instead of providing written answers, you may upload links of your videos doing so. We ask that you please do not provide both written and recorded responses. You may either respond via text, audio recording, or video. Applicants who provide more than one format will not be given special consideration. If you choose to record responses rather than write them, please be sure to link your videos under each question so that your application does not appear blank. It is also helpful to indicate timestamps of your video answers to the corresponding question when applicable. Who is eligible? To be eligible to apply for a CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color, you must identify as a person of color who is a citizen, resident alien, or permanent resident of the United States looking to fund their circus-related projects, education, or needs. For this microgrant program, CSAW will be following a broad definition of circus artists of color, which encompasses all who identify in part or in whole as non-white persons. You may apply as an individual on behalf of an organization or company, but please be sure you indicate that you are doing so in the specified portion of the application and submit your budget proposal accordingly. If you are a parent, guardian, or adult applying on behalf of multiple children, please list all of their names and do your best to submit materials for each of them. If you have questions or concerns about this, please email info@csawcircus.org. What is the age limit? The CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color is open for all applicants of all ages. However, if you are under the age of 18, you must have a parent, guardian, or adult helper sign the terms and conditions found at the end of this application on your behalf. How can I use my microgrant? A microgrant may be used to pay for circus-related expenses, including but not limited to recreational circus classes, travel and housing accommodations for auditions, application fees, tuition payments, equipment, props, private lessons, show creation, venue fees, and other circus educational or project-related fees. Microgrant recipients will demonstrate an authentic circus-related funding need and possess any number of qualities, characteristics, or attributes such as drive, determination, ambition, dedication, commitment, or skill. These qualities will be determined and evaluated by the selection committee. Please be aware that one of the most prominent criteria for receiving a microgrant is that you demonstrate an immediate need for funding. For example, if you are applying for a funding need in the month of December, try to apply as close to the month of December as possible, as those who can demonstrate an immediate need for a microgrant may be considered ahead of those who cannot. Can I apply more than once? Yes, applicants are allowed to reapply monthly. There is no limit on the number of times that you can apply, and we encourage all applicants to apply more than once. However, anyone applying should be able to demonstrate an immediate need for funding, meaning a need for a grant within the month they are applying or within the months closely following the time of application. We strongly recommend that all who apply copy their responses into a separate document so that you may reuse language if you wish. At the end of the application, you will be given an option to download your responses as a PDF as well. Our selection committees have also advised that you revise your application appropriately each month rather than copying the same answers every time. Any prospective applicant unsure of their eligibility should email us at info@csawcircus.org. Prepare before applying. This application will ask you to submit the following things, which you can prepare ahead of time. Basic personal information, name, email, etc. A headshot must be uploaded as a file which can be viewed by any device. A short explanation of how you got into circus, what keeps your passion for circus alive, and how you would like to see circus change. An explanation of why you are applying for $1,000. A detailed budget proposal for how you will use those $1,000. Must be uploaded as a file which can be viewed by any device. 1 to 3 photos, documents, or other still attachments of your previous work. Does not need to be shot professionally. 1 to 3 videos of your previous work. Cannot exceed 3 minutes and does not need to be shot professionally. Terms and conditions. A complete terms and conditions will be included at the end of this application, and you will be required to sign them before submitting your application. As a reminder, if you are under the age of 18, you will need an adult to sign the terms and conditions for you. By submitting an application, you acknowledge and agree that each microgrant will be awarded at the sole discretion of the selection committee and that you will not challenge or dispute any microgrant award. When you submit your application for the microgrant, you are declaring that you are a circus artist of color and that you are a citizen, resident alien, or permanent resident of the United States of America. Upon submission of your application, you are promising that all of the information you submit to CSAW or the selection committee is accurate and truthful. If you have been awarded a CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color in the past, you are eligible to apply again and receive another grant if and only if 1 year, a full 12 months, has passed since the date of your previous grant award. For example, if you received the September 2022 microgrant, you may apply again in September 2023. If you have received a CSAW tuition grant, you are not eligible to apply for a microgrant. If you applied but were not awarded a CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color or any other CSAW grant in the past, you may apply again. The selection committee will evaluate the merit of the content contained in the pictures, videos, or written responses for your application and will not give weight to the quality of media conveying the information you have provided. Novice or professional quality media will be equally considered. Technological challenges should not discourage you from applying. Learn more about CSAW connecting circus students around the world at csawcircus.org. Meet the 2021 to 2022 CSAW microgrant recipients at csawcircus.org/financial aid. Follow-up. If you are awarded a microgrant, you will be asked to send 2 follow-up videos a minimum of 1 minute within 3 months of you receiving the grant. 1 video of you speaking about how you used your $1,000 grant, and another video demonstrating the funds in action. Thank you for applying. Please email info@csawcircus.org with any questions. We appreciate you. Page 2. Personal information. Please enter your first and last name. Please insert the name that you wish to be called if different from above. Optional. Phone number. We will not send this number unsolicited texts, phone calls, or other messages. Email. Home address. Please write your racial identity in the way you feel best represents you. For example, Black or African American, Indigenous or Native American, Hispanic, Latinx, Asian American, Pacific Islander, Black and Hispanic, Asian American and White, Indigenous and Pacific Islander, or in any way that feels best to you. Please write your gender identity. You may leave this blank if you prefer. For example, Two-Spirit, transgender, transgender female, transgender male, gender fluid, gender non-binary, gender non-conforming, cis male, cis female, prefer not to say, or any way that you feel best represents your gender identity. What are your pronouns? You may leave this blank if you prefer. Please select the response that accurately describes your U.S. citizenship status. U.S. citizen, permanent resident, resident alien, other not specified. Upload a current headshot here. This can be any photo which shows your face and does not need to be professionally taken. Page 3. About you. In this section, all questions have the option to be written or video responses. Applicants must choose one or the other and may not submit both. Please note, If you are applying via video response, please link the video in each box below so that your application does not appear blank. Whether you are submitting video or written responses, you must answer all questions to be eligible for consideration for a microgrant. Preference will not be given to one response format over the other, and it remains at the applicant's discretion to choose which you feel will better represent you. Low-resolution videos or poor grammar in written responses will not be used as a factor when considering the merit of an applicant's funding request. CSAW encourages you to use the best technology available to you and to seek resources to help if possible. If you encounter barriers in your application process and you wish to express them, there is space to dictate these barriers at the end of this application if desired. Video responses may not exceed 3 minutes in length. Please upload video responses to YouTube, Vimeo, or any other video sharing service and post the link in the designated area of the application. Broken links or missing videos cannot be considered by the selection committee, so please double-check your link. How would you describe your role or position in the circus industry, i.e. performer, rigger, coach, technician, student, producer, or other? 255 characters max. Please list all roles that apply to you. How many years have you been involved in circus? How were you first introduced to circus? 300 words max. What keeps your passion for circus alive? 500 words max. How do you want to change circus and/or see circus change? 500 words max. If choosing to respond to the above questions via video, please paste the video link here, as well as in all the fields above. Videos should not exceed 3 minutes and should answer all questions. Page 4. Previous work. Please attach up to 3 samples of your work. This can include anything that represents who you are and what you've done in the circus industry up until this point. Some examples: videos of live performances, photographs, drawings, lighting plots, costume designs, or anything you feel would help the CSAW selection committee get to know you and your work better. Please make sure videos are no longer than 3 minutes. All videos must be uploaded to YouTube, Vimeo, or any other video sharing service, and the link must be posted in the designated area of the application. Please be sure that the selection committee is able to view your work if you have any privacy settings on, changing sharing settings in Google Drive, for example. CSAW must receive some samples of your previous work or current work in order for your application to be evaluated by the selection committee. Consideration cannot be given to broken links or missing videos. CSAW and the selection committee understand that sometimes without funding, it is difficult to produce work at all. Please bear in mind that these work samples are open to any format, and poor video, audio, or other technological quality will not be a deciding factor for who is awarded a microgrant. Still images of work, up to 3 samples. Video of work, up to 3 links. If you have an Instagram account, Facebook page, TikTok account, or any other social media you would like to share, post the handle or the link below. Please be sure to only share public profiles, as the anonymity of the committees prevents them from requesting to follow you. If you have a website, please paste the link below. Page 5. Immediate need for funding. Please be as clear and accurate as possible when describing how you would utilize the $1,000 from this grant. It is important to specify where the money will be spent and what on. This should be a detailed budget. Video responses to all the below questions may be submitted as one video. Videos may not exceed 3 minutes in length. Please upload a video response to YouTube, Vimeo, or any other video sharing service, and post the link in the designated area of the application. Broken links or missing videos cannot be considered by the selection committee, so please double-check your link. Please be sure to paste the video in each question box if you are choosing this format so that your application does not appear blank. Why are you applying for this microgrant? Please demonstrate an immediate need for funding. 1,000 words max. i.e., I have a show coming up that I need costumes for. I would like to continue taking lessons with my coach. I'm going into creation and need to pay artists starting immediately. My studio needs equipments for the next session, etc. Submit a detailed budget proposal here. Please list each of the expenses you are anticipating and how you would use the $1,000 to cover these expenses. Be as specific as possible. This must be in the form of a readable file using Google Spreadsheets, Excel, or a comparable application. Please do not upload Apple attachments or anything which would not be able to be read by most computers. If you are unable to upload your budget proposal as a file, you may write it below. If you did upload it above, please write "C file" as this question is mandatory. You may also link to a spreadsheet if you wish, but please be sure that the sharing settings allow the committee to view it. 500 words max. Do you have other funding options available? How will you pay for your proposal if you do not receive this grant? Please list below. 300 words max. This can include other grants, pending or received, donations, savings, etc. Are you currently employed? If circus is your main occupation, do you have another job outside of circus? 100 words max. Please list all of your income streams here. What would receiving a CSAW microgrant mean to you? 300 words max. How would this help further your circus career, fuel your passion, etc.? If choosing to respond to the above questions via video, please paste the video link here. Be sure to also include the link in all the fields above. Videos should not exceed 3 minutes and should answer all questions. Page 6. Terms and Conditions. By submitting this application, you are stating that you have read and agree to the terms and conditions stipulated in the form below. If you are under the age of 18, you will instead have a parent, legal guardian, or approved adult help you agree to the terms and conditions by checking this box on your behalf. Updated on December 31st, 2022. CSAW Microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color, Terms, Conditions, and Understandings. Application. By submitting the application entitled CSAW Microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color, Microgrant, you, the applicant, swear by law that all information submitted is truthful and honest. You also understand and agree that each microgrant award is made at the sole discretion of the selection committee. No microgrant is guaranteed, and neither CSAW, Connecting Circus Students Around the World, herein CSAW or we, nor the Microgrant Selection Committee is responsible for any consequences of the award or denial of any award. No microgrant selection or denial may be challenged. Any questions regarding application may be sent to info@csawcircus.org. We are not at liberty to release the identity of the Microgrant Selection Committee at any time or for any reason. Each CSAW microgrant is offered subject to the foregoing contingencies and will only be awarded under the following terms, conditions, and understandings. Expenditure of funds. The microgrant is made for the purpose outlined in the applicant's submission and may not be expended for any other purpose without CSAW's prior written approval. If the microgrant is intended to support a specific project or to provide general support for a specific period, any portion of the microgrant unexpended at the completion of the project or the end of the period shall be returned immediately to CSAW, and instructions for the return of unused funds will be provided via email. No assignment or delegation. You may not assign or otherwise transfer your rights or delegate any of your obligations under this microgrant without prior written approval from CSAW. Social media and publicity release. We may, but are not obligated to, publish grantees, applicants, and shortlisted artists' work and application content on the CSAW website and social media pages. We hope to provide insight into the wide range of creative efforts we consider. Artists retain all rights to their work, but expressly grant CSAW, its assigns, and licensees a non-exclusive, fully paid and royalty-free, transferable, sub-licensable, worldwide license to use and display any materials shared with CSAW. At our discretion, we look forward to celebrating and elevating the grantees and applicants. Required submission. Please note that within 3 months of receiving a microgrant, all recipients are required to send in 2 1-minute minimum follow-up videos to info@csawcircus.org showing how they used their microgrant funds. 1 video of the awardee speaking about how they used their $1,000 grant, and another video demonstrating the funds in action. Exceptions and different arrangements may only be made with prior written approval from CSAW. Required notification. You are required to provide CSAW with immediate written notification of 1. your inability to expend the microgrant for the purposes described in the application form, or 2, any expenditure from this microgrant made for any purpose other than those for which the microgrant was intended. Limited liability. In order for you to be considered for the CSAW microgrant, you agree, and for those applicants under 18 years of age, your parents agree, to the maximum extent permitted under applicable law, CSAW shall not be liable for any special, consequential, indirect, incidental, statutory, punitive, or other damages arising out of the subject matter of this agreement, including lost opportunities or profits, whether such damages arise in contract, negligence, tort, under statute, in equity, at law, or otherwise, even if CSAW has been put on notice of the possibility of such damages, including any and all loss of damages arising from delay of microgrant review or disbursement. You expressly waive any right you may have to recover such damages. The foregoing shall not apply to CSAW's gross negligence or intentional misconduct. You further agree that in all cases, CSAW's liability will be limited such that the total liability of CSAW under any circumstances and for any reason is limited to the maximum amount of a single microgrant. Right to modify or revoke. CSAW reserves the right to discontinue, modify, or withhold any payments to be made under this microgrant award, or to require a total or partial refund of any microgrant funds if, in CSAW's sole discretion, such action is necessary. 1. Because you have not fully complied with the terms and conditions of this microgrant. 2. To protect the purpose and objectives of the microgrant or any other charitable activities of CSAW. Or 3. To comply with the requirements of any law or regulation applicable to you, to CSAW, or this microgrant. Eligibility requirements for past CSAW grant awardees. If an applicant has been awarded a CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color in the past, they are eligible to apply again and receive another grant if and only if 1 year, a full 12 months, has passed since the date of their previous grant award. For example, if one received the September 2022 microgrant, they may apply again in September 2023. If an applicant has been awarded a CSAW tuition grant, they are not eligible to apply for a microgrant. If an applicant applied but was not awarded a CSAW microgrant for U.S. Circus Artists of Color or any other CSAW grant in the past, they may apply again. Amendments. The terms and conditions contained herein are subject to change at any time. CSAW may update, alter, or correct any errors or omissions in this published material and thus may amend these terms and conditions at any time, and it is your responsibility to be familiar with them. CSAW will make an effort to maintain a video version of these amended terms and conditions. However, the written document will control. Amended terms and conditions shall automatically be effective upon being posted by CSAW. Accordingly, you should review them each time you visit the application page in order to ensure you are aware of any changes. By submitting an application, you certify you are authorized to accept this microgrant, will observe, follow, and abide by all of the terms and conditions placed on this microgrant. Your submission constitutes your acceptance of these terms and conditions set out herein, including any related documents and amendments. Do you or your legal guardian agree to the terms and conditions listed above? Check this box if you accept the terms and conditions. Is there anything else you would like us to know? Please feel free to give us feedback about this application. This is where you may detail any application barriers, technological or otherwise, if you so choose. How did you find out about this application? Facebook, Instagram, recommended by a friend, Circus Talk, Google, or other. The date and time. Thank you for applying.